I'm back this week with Club Dead, also known as the third season of True Blood. True Blood, as far what I'm seeing so far, is that we're looking at 13 books converted into 7 seasons, and it's really complicated in the way the writers for HBO would take one book and add a dash of another book into the season of the show. So it's really tricky to compare the books to the movies. But here goes season 3. It's all about Club Dead, which is the upscale night spot for supernaturals, including vampires, shapeshifters, and werewolves. And it is during this whole Club Dead thing that we are introduced to Alcide, Russell Edgington, Talbot, Franklin, and Debbie. Now, to get into what the show and the book have in common, we start at the beginning with Bill's disappearance. In the show, we know that he was spirited away during a romantic evening with Sookie while she'd stepped away and was pondering his marriage proposal. In the book, he's kind of living in her basement in his light, tight hidey hole, and he's building some kind of vampire-oriented software program just before he disappears. Which is how Eric connects Sookie to Alcide, because he wants them to go together to find Bill and find out what's going on. And in the meantime, Alcide would like to know what's going on with his old girlfriend Debbie. In the show, we know Debbie as the trailer trashy and very cheaply dressed vampire addicted werewolf who hosts her engagement party at this dive bar filled with leather clad werewolves, not Club Dead. In the book, we find Debbie at Club Dead, and she is very well dressed, and she's a shifter, not a werewolf. She works during the day as a legal secretary, and no, there's no chance she will ever take Alcide back. But again, 13 books, 7 seasons, it's up in the air. I haven't read the rest of the books yet. Alright, then there's the topic of Lorena having driven a wedge between Bill and Sookie. In the show, we know that Lorena used her "as your maker, I command you" influence to get Bill into bed with her. In the book, he messed around with her of his own free will, so we know so far. Again, I didn't read the rest of the books yet. It's up in the air because there's always twists and surprises. Every season is 2 cups of this book and a pinch of this later book and a dash of this earlier book. It's creative the way they keep it together, yet separate, yet different, yet the same. It's magic. It's like no wonder HBO is so expensive to subscribe to, because they go for the best of the best of the best writers. Now, let's get to what is only in the show. The relationship between Hoyt and Jessica, which is briefly interrupted by Summer at Maxine's behest. It doesn't happen because in the books there's no Jessica, not yet anyway. Also only in the show, Sam Merlot finding his birth family, these scoundrelous shapeshifters who live in the woods, who make their living making his ne'er-do-well brother dogfight for them. So Sam takes his idiot brother away, gives him a job in his bar, and it works out badly, but we don't see the end of him until season 4. So we don't know if he's ever going to make an appearance in the books. It remains to be seen. There's also not much mention of Jason in the book, so only in the show is his relationship with the Werepanther and her junkyard family. Also, an issue that bleeds into the 4th season of the show, so it could pop up in a book later on. Also only in the show is the revelation of Sookie being half fairy, which compels Eric and Russell to feed off her and see if they can face the sun with her blood in their bellies. It doesn't work, and when they get a good char on Russell, Eric and Bill pitch him into a pit of fresh concrete. And then Bill goes and pushes Eric into the concrete, and then it's later on discovered it's not the same. It's not at all the same in the book yet. But you know how it ends. Sookie finds out from Eric, who's covered in concrete, that she was manipulated into getting involved with him. And so she banishes them both from her house, which is where the ending of the book kind of ties into what's going on in the show. Bill's software program that he was creating in her basement is in her house, and the only way vampires can get their hands on it is if she allows them into her house. So she has herself a pretty good sized bargaining chip. And of course, the one and only thing that is only in the book is Steve Newland suicide bombing Club Dead. And that covers Club Dead Season 3 of True Blood. And I hope you enjoyed this episode of Books to Movies. Next week is the 10-episode recap, kind of the season finale. And after that, I gotta write some material for some stuff I've just finished reading. I just finished The Count of Monte Cristo. I am starting on Band of Brothers. And I just ordered different seasons so I can do Shawshank Redemption and Lolita, which I've heard a lot of great things about. So I'm looking forward to it all. I hope you are too. And I thank you for your time and watching.